Good morning, hello, and welcome to today's Mindset Matters, where we're discussing all things mindset related. Yesterday, or in the last episode, we talked about the power of affirmations, and previously I've kind of shared with you 5 ways to help to program your subconscious mind, and one of those ways was to master your self-talk. So I wanted to kind of go into that a little bit more today. The language you use, the words you use, has such a big impact on your subconscious mind and the direction of which we move in our actions or inaction. So, I often say to clients, is it time to kind of mind your language? And we're referring to both the language you use in your own head and out loud. Now, once you're aware of this, you'll probably notice yourself and catch yourself probably a bit more, which is a great start. But I do want you to be aware of the fact that you're not going to stop using negative language completely. But at least if you've got the awareness, then you can do what I share with my clients called the stop and switch. So if you hear yourself saying something like, I can't, or I'm not very good at, stop and then switch it around and turn it into something that's kind of cleaner, that's more empowering, that's more encouraging. Your subconscious is like a sponge. It'll absorb the words that you kind of present to it, but it doesn't really have the ability to distinguish whether something's right, wrong, good or bad, positive or negative. But we've said that the subconscious is like your inner GPS. So if you're feeding it, if you're giving it the instructions of what you think you're not very good at, what you think you can't do, then that's almost like guiding it in that direction. So be aware of it. You think of it a bit like a TV, or if you're listening to music, maybe one of your own playlists. If something comes on that you don't like or you're not in the mood for, you have the ability to stop and switch, to turn it over, to turn it into something else that you would rather be listening to. And be aware of how you can do that with your own language in your own head and out loud, rather than just leaving it to chance. Be a bit more deliberate and purposeful with the language that you choose. Think of your mind like that of a toddler. How would you choose to speak to them, to encourage them, to uplift them, to empower them, to kind of nurture them? And see your own mind in the same way. How can you empower and uplift yourself by the words that you use? So just be mindful of your language and be aware, is there any areas that you could clean up your language? And now you have this awareness, then just use it as a bit of a white flag. If you hear yourself saying something that's not the most encouraging or helpful, or just not appropriate for where you are or what you're doing, or what you're endeavoring to accomplish, then stop and switch. We've talked, or I've shared with you, the power of affirmations, and affirmations is a huge part of this. Choosing language and repeating the words to yourself on a kind of consistent basis is a really good way of introducing and nurturing some much more effective language and words. But it isn't just about the affirmations. I want you to be aware of those kind of pesky, sneaky, kind of negative phrases that can creep in from time to time, and be aware that you can change and switch those as well. So one of the things I'd like you to do is just get in the habit, whether you call this an affirmation or just choosing some positive self-talk in the morning every day. Choose a positive phrase, choose some encouraging self-talk, and set the day, set the tone for how you want to be and think and feel. Let me know in the comments if you have a favorite phrase that you like to use, or maybe create one and share that in the comments below. One of the simplest ones that clients find really effective, and maybe a good starting point for you, and that is simply, I am enough. that kind of caters for so many of those self-doubts, limiting beliefs, negatives that can creep in. Whereas if you just reinforce that positive belief that you are enough, maybe use that one, start off there, start the day, say it to yourself numerous times throughout the day, I am enough. But if you've got another one that you like, let me know in the comments. We'll look forward to seeing the words that you use to help you to achieve the life and the goals that you want. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch. Otherwise, have an amazing day, and I'll look forward to seeing you soon. Take care.